Well, greetings and welcome back, Blade fans, to the first in a series of what appears to be three different episodes of this. I guess we could call it oldies but goodies, ones that I like a lot from the collection that may no longer be available. So kind of an oldies but goodies, maybe knives we have forgotten. I'm not sure what I'm going to title this, but I'm sure by the time you see it, you'll know because it will be in the title. So I am this old sword. There we go. It's the old logo. And what we've got are the first four in a series of 12. Well, it's not a series of 12, but a total of 12 knives. I'm going to go right across from, how about right to left? Reverse everything and show you these knives that I do like and have used. And I believe they've got their own special attributes that make them special. And let's start over on the right here with the Kaiser knife. This is by I believe the designer's name is Assassin Knives. I think his name is Arseno. Um, and, you know, I think he's Armenian. I'm going to guess. I'm going to guess at that, best of my memory. And this is called the Inyan. Look at this interesting blade shape. I mean, this is one of the things that has drawn me to this knife. Pretty decent jimping, a 4-inch or so blade, maybe 3.9 or so. I'm not going to do all the specs on these because, yes, you guessed it, individual reviews exist on each of these on my channel. So just look them up by name if you need to know more. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on each one. This is an N690 blade, and you don't see too many of those from Kaiser, but you see a few now and then. Kaiser's premium knives are generally S35VN, but nowadays you may see some others in S20V and so on and so forth. But I think the blade profile and design is really interesting. I guess we'd have to call this a drop point, but it's a very interesting one. Almost starts to look like a Tonto. No, not a reverse Tonto. Has a G10 handle. There is another version of this in my Carta with the black bolster and a black blade. I've got that one too, but I didn't bring it out. I thought this was just a little prettier looking, and it is a beautiful drop shut action. It is not a front flipper, it is a back flipper only, but look at how they've incorporated the back flipper. There's a few knives out there like this that don't have a tab that sticks up, but rather one that kind of is even with the frame of the knife, and you pull back on the front of that, and it works quite well. A little bit stiff detent, but very crisp. It's a liner lock with exposed liners, pretty decent thickness on those liners. We've got a backspacer. This one's in a bright orange and black. I generally don't like to go for orange. I don't know, it kind of looks like a safety color, like maybe something that should be in a like an emergency EMT kit or something like that, or an outdoor survival kit. So, cool. But, you're seeing more red and orange knives. This one seems to be still in production. So I think out of the four here, it is the only one that may still be in production, aside from maybe the Benchmade Fact that we're going to take a look at in a minute. I'll try to leave you links, but don't get frustrated if it isn't like an easy shopping trip. I'm not here for that purpose. I'm not really a catalog of knives. I do have my own catalog, but that's for my purposes, and it's not about purchasing them. It's just about remembering what I got. So full-size knife, as I said, I got a good inch left over. If you like big knives, this is a good one. And being that it's still available, to the best of my knowledge, it's 55 to 60 bucks depending upon the version you get. I think the micarta version with the black blades going for about 55 bucks on Blade HQ. So I'm going to put these up in this orientation. and bring these down a little bit so you can see everything lined up and see them in the end. I'll have them all stacked in the end. Next one in line is a design by Alessandra de Santos. And it is made by, as you can see, We Knives. It is no longer made by We Knives. It has been discontinued. It is the Hecate, named after, I think, a Greek goddess of either death or war or something like that. Sorry if I forget. But again, all those salient details are in my singular review of this knife. Interesting kind of harpoon, reverse tanto. Everything's a reverse tanto if you flip it right, if it's got a clip on the top. But it does have a gradual belly. It is quite sharp out of the box. Haven't carried this too much. I do love the stonewash on both the handle and on the blade, very grayed out, and a very prominent glass breaker there, kind of a carbide glass breaker that's been inserted in the end. I'm not sure if that's removable. Does not appear to be, well, no, there's like a little wrench slot there, a little flat. So yeah, looks like you could turn that out if you wanted to by maybe sliding a spanner wrench type of a deal in there. But it is on a kind of a platform pommel that's part of a titanium backspacer. And there is the name of the knife there, Hecate. Alessandra, if you know anything about her, likes to name her blades after ancient names, maybe from Greece or from Italy, or even some of the Norse gods. She does a lot of research on that stuff. This just melts right into the hand, the way the profile of that handle is with that hump. And this juxtaposition guard is something you see on maybe the Okai from Boker that she designed, a Tanto. It allows you to have a definite nice stop there, a ramp for your thumb with some nice jimping on this one, but also allows you to reach forward and place your thumb there should you want to have a more squared up grip for Filipino tactical use and so forth, and so on and so forth. It's a good size handle, again, at least an inch left over in my medium large hands. Got a really nice sharpening choil there. You could kind of use that platform to place your finger there if you wanted. Here is the Hydra symbol, her company, Hydra Design. It is a frame lock, nice jimping there, very aggressive jimping on the lock bar, and that allows you to have a really good grip with your index finger. You could definitely pop some glass with this guy, as that sticks out pretty prominently. And again, if you did find one of these on the secondary market, it has been discontinued. You could remove that glass breaker if it wasn't something that really suited you. Good long blade on this one too, close to, I think, 3 3/4, 4 inches. Yeah, 3 3/4. So you got a good size knife. Overall, it is like probably at least 9 inches. Yeah, it's like 9 inches without the glass breaker. So 9 1/4 or so with that glass breaker. Just really nice. I don't know if I call that a stone pattern. It's kind of a, I don't know. It's got a different kind of pattern thing going on with it, but it definitely got that heavy stonewash, which I do like, and We does an excellent job of it. I'm going to drop these next two down so we can slide this one in horizontally. There we go. And let's move on to what I mentioned before, the Benchmade Fact. Okay, Benchmade Fact. I think this is still being made, and I know they've got an auto version as well. This is got kind of a single purpose 4-inch blade. Doesn't look big because it's so slender, but it's got an aluminum handle that's been textured heavily, been grooved. It is lightened by means of these large slots. It is an axis lock. And I believe it is on washers. It doesn't exactly swing very freely, but snaps right out without any problem. Very smooth. Nice jimping there, very short run, but very aggressive. Double thumb stud. S30V blade, I believe. Yep, S30V. And pretty good thickness for a pokey, piercy knife. Pretty good thickness at the point. Doesn't go paper thin or anything like that. And again, has kind of a dagger look to it. I think we'd call it a single grind dagger, a bayonet, what have you. Very light. So, I mean, if you're looking for a light and piercy knife that is really a thruster, but does have a very decent edge as well for a relatively shallow grind. And a deep carry clip, if I didn't mention that, all blacked out. The auto version is probably going for about 300. This goes for about 200. Again, I believe it is still available. I'll leave you links where and when I can. And if you're looking for that kind of single-purpose defense knife that is a definite thruster, this would be the guy. And lightweight to boot. And you can see that it does fit in there lengthwise with the other two pretty closely. A little shorter overall, but look at that blade. It's right out there longer than the Hecate. See, it's deceiving. So I'm going to slide these down a little bit as we look at the final of this 4 in the first series of 12 knives. Here we have one of my absolute all-time favorites. If you like the Spyderco Yojimbo and you like that Wharncliffe style blade, oh, you're going to love this guy. This is the Roxi 4. S35VN, designed by Todd Knife and Tool. You can see a lot of their design language here as with their other knives, like the I was going to say, not Shogun, but Sensei. No, Sensei? Not sure. You'll know what I'm talking about. Really, again, their design language with this landing platform for the flipper, this little groove area that's cut out, relieved area, heavy jimping, and Shodan, that's the one I'm trying to think of. Shodan, yeah, you're probably screaming it out. Their holes, which you see on many of their knives, these 3 holes, not sure of the significance of that, but you see it on a lot of their designs. Big slot for a lanyard, full 4-inch blade, as I said, and what they do a lot of, and you may not like it if you're sharpening the knife, is this full choil right there, where your finger is actually protected from the blade. And I think a lot of thought went into that if you wanted to choke up. But if you wanted to hold it back here, and let's back out just a little bit. If you wanted to hold it back here, you've got plenty of handle, close to 1 inch left over once again. A titanium clip with their kind of little bite mark there that you see on a lot of their clips. Todd Knife and Tool. It is a beauty. And look at that aggressive Wharncliffe. It's both piercy and slicey. Very sharp, high grind on this, flat grind. And that is the wee Roxi 4. And there you have my 4 for the first batch. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe.